Oh, greetings. Welcome back. Welcome back indeed. Yeah, so this was one of those lackadaisical runs. Unexpected. Normally, when I start these little dark red stars, I enter like a battle position. I sit forward, I lean in, ready to go. But yeah, this spawn. First off, what is this spawn right here? All three level 9 planets are way out there, well outside of the range of my pathetic level 11 teleport. It's a shame. It's a shame. And also, just sort of just a rude dude move here. Andreas got rid of my Colossus spawn. Oh, don't know what that was. Andreas got rid of my Colossus spawn. The sector that I used to get vengeance off the Colossus and the 3 Sentinels and 4 Guardians or what have you. Now just a single Sentinel. I'm not sure why. You're not making things easier, mate. Not at all. So yeah, so that was already bad. And then the thing that made me slump back, like I was sitting forward, I slumped back when I had the planets. It's like 2 transport artifacts and a third on the 8 there. Everything else are things I don't really care for. So, seeing all that, I knew that I was going to have a lot of time. Because, those are kind of, the kind of arts that you use for a Red Star extension, as it were. So, yeah, but as usual, we'll get the 2 Brawlers and Vengeance. Good setup for solo there. Since there was no Colossus spawn over here, I had to make do with one of these filler sectors. Employing the same strategy as before, using Suspend on the storms there. Not quite enough to kill both of them with 1 Suspend, but close enough, I'd say. Good enough. Had to use a second spawn there just to get my hull low enough. Moved back. Because all of that would have definitely knocked my hull down to 2,000. So yeah, like halfway killed the last storm on each one, not too bad. Keeping an eye on things. Once again, bad spawn on the destroyers. When they spawn, I mean, I guess it's not across the star, like it's in the middle of the sector, but it's still like going away from me. I should have just waited until the other 2 spawned, but I didn't. So yeah, and while this was happening, I was checking to make sure because I knew the Phoenix had spawned at this point. So I was checking over here. This one popped out of nowhere. I was not expecting it. I just happened to see it right on time to use Amplifier, and I was just in range to get pulsed again. So my Vengeance went off, but I saw that my Vengeance was likely going to miss that one destroyer, so I teleported early. Sadly, missed the repair drone. A bit, uh, a bit bad, but not the worst. So I let my brawlers sit over here just to kill these sentinels. Because once you get rid of the sentinels that spawn on the first wave with the Phoenix, there are no more sentinels that spawn, and thus you can kind of walk into these sectors. As you can see, 3 Guardians and a Colossus and a Phoenix. So if you just knock out the Sentinels that spawn first, you don't have to worry about dying, essentially, when you come back. Of course, you have to worry about bombers hitting you under the shield, but that's not a big deal. So yeah, and because this ship was not healed, I was not comfortable using it to knock out the bombers, because that's usually what its job is. After the destroyers knock out some of the bombers for the civilian ships, So I decided to retreat. Again, I knew this was going to be a long run because of all the bad arts. Send out some repair drones from the brawlers because I knew I wasn't going to need them for a while. Yeah. Each battleship can heal each other. The power of friendship, I suppose. So yeah, I just dealt with the bombers as you would. Took a second, jumped in at a good time. Yeah, like even the 7s and the 8, yeah, there's like no arts here for me. So I took my time while they were loading this. I just moved in position, get that bomber to shoot so it wouldn't shoot me point blank. And yeah, it's simple. I was going to just let like all these Serbs move and not EMP, but I wanted to, focus on other things. So I just EMP there just to buy me some time to focus on other things. I think I was just loading and checking to make sure that the civilians were safe. Could be wrong. And yeah, knocking out that bomber. Again, this was a slow run. Not much happened. Everything happened in like parts, eras even. Just a lot of downtime, as it were. Not that the Phoenix moved a bit late, so I got hit with a couple of those sentinels point blank, but not a big deal. Not a big deal. Repair up, load these in, and so now this sector is safe, so I can move these across. But it took me a second to do that. I just happened to notice out of the corner of my eye that was spawning, and I did not want to send my vengeance ship to go take care of that as it normally would, because my hull was low. Also, my vengeance was already up. I didn't even notice my vengeance was up already again. Took a while to notice that. I was busy over here. I could have been clearing this out while repairing this ship, A lot of things I could be doing at the same time, but again, it's a slow run. No big deal. Just EMP the rockets under the shield just to get rid of the shield. Knocked out that interceptor in case it moved up here, but it didn't, so I didn't need to teleport really. But always good to knock out an interceptor. You never know when it's going to come back to bite you. Another one happened to start spawning there. And at this point I realized, oh yeah, my vengeance ship is available again. Use suspend to knock out the sentinels that pop out of there. Jumped in the middle here like I normally do. I thought these sentinels were in range, but I suppose it was good that I did because it moved to this bomber up. So I got some, some cheap damage on it. Moved up before the dark barrage could hit me from the storms, and yeah, killed the bomber and everything. Meanwhile, not even loading, just dealing with these down here. Again, I sat back as soon as I saw the artifacts available. I knew I was going to have some time. Knocked out that interceptor, so I was moving in, leaving the civilian ships kind of defenseless, but I saw that this one down here was spawning, this interceptor, and interceptors only spawn one at a time. And then there's like a bit of a pause, and then the next one spawns. So I knew there was a lot of time before the possibility of an interceptor spawning up there. So yeah, I finished up, cleaned up there with the suspend, just sat there, let the bomber ship do that. Move these over here. I really did need to double enrich on this one. Although I suppose I did come home with a lot of weapon and shield artifacts. Good times for my ult there. Oh, that was a close one. I didn't even see that. That would have been bad. Well, actually, no, that would have been okay. I would have been alive, but it would have nearly killed me there. So yeah, that was really about it. Nothing too spectacular, but I suppose it is nice to see just how, what's the word? How laid back this can be when you have the time. Because I wasn't doing like moving across the star, like checking, like, three different ships, and the civilian ships. I wasn't really doing that. I was just doing one at a time, or one thing at a time. So it's good to know that whenever I get an upgrade on my Red Star extender to level 12, at which point will be a minute per artifact, it's going to be kind of like this. I won't have to worry about uh, a bunch of ships everywhere. I can just take my time, which I must say that might be the most important module for doing Dark Red Stars solo. Lifestar Extender, because you can always retreat and recuperate if you have the time. And while I wasn't really retreating or recuperating here, definitely wasn't anything or it definitely could have been something to worry about, and it definitely has been before, I should say. Again, should not be doing this without coffee. Shouldn't be doing Dark Red Stars without coffee, but here we are. But yeah, bad spawn, bad arts, but a lot of time. Silver lining. And yeah, I guess that's all. I guess I'll see you around. You know how it is.